let's talk a little bit about you. So I know you've been a real estate lawyer as well before, right? And now you're a broker, real estate broker. So how long you've been doing that?
I work in real estate for about 14 years. And I actually started as a property management service, meaning people who purchase from abroad, they need someone to manage their properties because they're not here. If it's empty, to come every few weeks, check the property, check its systems, or if they have tenants, someone should manage the tenants, the problems, everything. We also developed an app that we are using, a CRM system, that everything that happens with your property are registered in our CRM, customer service management.
Nice. That's nice.
And so every action is going into the computer, and even the tenants can send us online their requests, their problems with videos, with photos. We knew who sent it, what time, who fixed it. You have warranty, everything goes through the system. And so that's part of it. And then I realized, wait, people, they use me for the services to manage the property, but usually they sell and rent and purchase. So I issued a license.
Yeah, so why leave it to someone else if you can do it by
exactly.
yourself? Yeah.
And then we have a non-stop shop, and we can provide all the services in one point. And we're like chamama, we call it. Yeah. We're greenhouse for everything. And yeah.
What's the name of your property management company?
Wellspring Capital.
Wellspring, which is Maayan in English, right?
Yeah, true.
Clever.
Yeah. Well, also, it's not just Wellspring, is not just man, well is a goodwill. And our logo and everything is blue and white because we're Zionist, and this is what we do. We help people that, it started with my husband. I'm married to an American. He's a lawyer. He's doing his PhD now. He's very smart. He's very intelligent, and he's amazing. He's my husband.
He has to be.
But then I saw, him and a lot of clients that in those past years that I saw, that they come here and it's so confusing for them because the processes are so different than in America.
That's right.
In America, you don't see a lawyer even here.
Right.
You can't purchase without a lawyer.
Some states you do, but yeah, most of
this
don't use a lawyer.
Exactly.
Usually.
The real estate agent, he's managing everything here. There is a specific task and specific order to each of the individual. And so I saw it's very hard for them. They come here and professors and very intelligent people and doctors, and they come here and everything is such a balagan for them. So I said, I was a secretary when I started everything. I worked in secretary, so I have a secretary mind. Everything is in files. Everything is
in order.
Yeah, in order. And I think that's what we provide for our clients: order and liability.
This is something we didn't discuss before when we started, because this is one of the main issues. Because when people buy real estate in their country, either if it's in the United States or other places, it's totally different from Israel. Like you said, people usually don't use lawyers in the States, besides different states. I know in New York they use lawyers, but they have the brokers and they have the title companies they use for the ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all different here. And here, most of the work goes to the lawyers. I mean, they do all the legal negotiations, and then to
the ground floor is the real estate agent. The negotiation is the real estate agent.
The commercial terms.
The commercial terms, and then all the legal aspect go to the lawyer. And it's funny that you asked that, because what I really, when I think about someone who comes to Israel and purchase, and he's not just the language and the cultural is so different.
The whole process is different.
Yeah, and the process also, sometimes the real estate and the lawyer and the contractor, they don't sync to each other.
Right.
And that's why when we come in our company and we have a tool, mizvada, a suitcase with everything that you need for the property. And
You prepare for advance for every obstacle in the way. You
exactly.
know how to solve it.
Yeah, and also I think it's very good that everyone is integrated together to make it happen. And a lot of times in Israel, it happened to me last week also. Everyone is so tense here, and like the tense.
They want everything right now.
Right
they
now.
Want you to sign now.
Kadima.
They want you to finish everything
what's
now.
going on?
Right.
Calling every day, 3 times a day. So I think the lawyer and the real estate agents, the place for them is to like calm everything down, take deep breath, and just relax. It's going to be okay. We say in Hebrew, orach ruach.
That's funny because sometimes you need to talk to a client that buys an apartment and to tell him, look, the developer is pushing. They want to sign by the end of next week or by the end of the week, and they're not gonna save the apartment for you. And you need, as a lawyer, and I'm sure that you as a broker feel the same. You need to calm everybody around, like on one side to push the client, the buyer, to move faster, and then the other side with the developer or with the seller to calm down a little bit and wait for them. Sometimes it's even technical issues like opening an account, which takes a few weeks sometimes.
I think the secret in this thing is in the beginning of the process, have everyone match their expectation.
Exactly.
Because if you don't match the expectation from the beginning, the day one, when I see someone is coming from abroad, he wants to buy, you tell the seller, and I tell my clients always, and they know it's not going to be an easy process. It's gonna take time. We need a lot of patience, and sometimes they will push you back. They try to like make you stress and stuff, but the first thing is to match the expectation and tell everyone before how hard this process will be. And then everything is going to go smooth, good. Yeah. But the expectation, because the seller wants to sell it as quick as possible, and he doesn't understand the story behind the bank account, all the money that transferring. Right. Sometimes it takes more than a week because it's go from, for example, from London to an Israeli bank account. It stays there for like, it's a transfer bank. Right? Yeah.
It's like a separate, like a in-between account.
In-between account.
Yeah, when the bankers are reviewing everything with the compliance.
Yeah. Where the money comes from. Does it money laundering? They look at all the facta and all the stuff. And then they transfer it to the bank account. So sometimes it takes more than a week for one payment to go through. And
this is the end of the process when they're wiring. Sometimes they need to sell a property in their country, so we're waiting for that money to arrive. They're waiting for that amount to arrive in their account in their country, and then they send the money. So there's a few steps before that. Sometimes we need to tell everyone to understand the process, to keep patient and wait for it.
Yeah. So that's one of the important things, that to match the expectations. And if you don't do that in the beginning, sometimes in the end it's just blowing in your face. So what do you think about the real estate market now? How do you feel? You're doing a lot of transaction and like representing a lot of buyers and sellers.
Well, I feel right now that the second-hand market is a bit calm. Everything because I think like prices maybe I don't know if it went down. Maybe in Tel Aviv a little bit went down, but because they went up a lot in the past couple of years.
So they're coming back to the authenticity.
Coming back a little bit, and people don't want to sell in lower prices, so everybody's waiting for something to happen. Maybe the prices will go up again, but this is the second-hand market. On the new developments and new apartment, I feel like prices are going up in most places.
Really?
Yeah, because you can see, I mean, a lot of developers have offers about no interest or, pay the 20% now, 80% later, or even 10.90 or 15.85. Depends on the sales they offer. But
why do they have a lot of apartments for sale? Why do they do that?
Eventually, the developers want to sell upfront as much as they can, so they can get the backing from the finance from the bank and the escrow accounts. So they give a lot of offers at the beginning now. And the second-hand apartments right now is a bit more calmed, especially with the Israeli buyers and sellers. I mean, I don't feel it in the non-residents market, because when people want to come to Israel or buy, they will buy regardless of the situation here. So it doesn't always concern them the movement in the market. It's more about Israelis.
So who's selling now the properties secondhand? People who really need the money, or which families?
I mean,
you
like
think?
always, people who needs the money, people who wants to upgrade,
Upgrade.
yeah, and move to a bigger apartment. So this is the most people that selling. And besides that, I'm doing transactions and contracts all over Israel. So this is Tel Aviv, where I feel prices have been coming down a bit. With still, we have the beach land, which is like 80,000 per square meters, even up. But center of Tel Aviv or south of Tel Aviv, it's becoming more sense again in around like 50, 55, maybe 60 per square meters after the last few years was crazy. Besides that, I feel like other cities like Netanya is going up again, and Herzliya. And
Do you think that the reason it's happening because Netanya, Herzliya, Bat Yam,
those
the
are beach
foreigners,
cities,
but
yeah.
beach cities, so the geographical aspect
Yes, that
is
yeah, it affects eventually. A lot of people want to live next to the beach. Those cities, specifically Bat Yam or Herzliya, it's the public transportation is better than most of Israel. I mean, it still has some works to do. It's not perfect here. But yeah, we have the new light rail, which is working for over a year now, and they're adding more lines. I mean, places like Kiryat Ono or Yehuda, which now I think it's the purple line, the light rail it's going to be open in the next few months or year. So prices over there are going up as well. I know a lot of group of people who bought like a group purchase in those areas for a lot of families.
wow. I'm surprised. In the middle of the war,
Yeah.
interests are so high in Israel, and you
Right.
say
Like it all comes down to what we spoke at the beginning of our conversation, because a lot of people are feeling unsafe and want to move to Israel.
So you think the reason it's happening is because foreigners are buying more here? The prices are going up because foreigners are buying more?
That's one reason. And the other reason is, our mentality as Israelis is to own an apartment. The kids,
that's true.
Yeah, kids are getting married. They should have an apartment. If you don't have an apartment by the age of 30, 35, you can feel some pressure that you're not in the game already, and you're not rolling your money if you want to sell. So there's some pressure if it's from the parents or from your friends that they already bought one when you're going to buy an apartment.
So you say the cultural thing here in Israel
Exactly.
to own your own apartment.
I think that's a Jewish thing as well, not just Israeli, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but that's good because we're business people eventually.
Exactly.
It's in our blood. Like most of us, some are better, some are less. But yeah, this is something we do. We like to compare, to ask each one where he bought, how much it cost him, if he paid less or more to the broker, to the lawyer, or if he paid interest or not. So, yeah.